Hello and welcome to Karate School, a podcast designed to help you start or grow your karate school. We provide lots of great information on the business of karate, preserving your art, as well as fun industry news and interviews. My name is Colton Woodard and I'll be your host. I'm a 7th Dan in Shito-Ryu and a vice president of the National Karate KOBUDO Federation. I host a wealth of Shito-Ryu and Ryukyu KOBUDO lessons and content at nkkf.org. We're constantly adding new members around the globe and welcome you to join us as well. My father, Bill Woodard, ran a karate dojo for over 35 years, and I'll be using insights from this business model periodically throughout this podcast. Support for this program is brought to you by bulksupplements.com. Buying protein powder and pre-workout can be expensive, and multiple trips to your local brick and mortar can become a chore. Head to the podcast tab at nkkf.org, click the link and use code SAVE5 at checkout to get 5% off your next purchase. So are you thinking about owning a karate school? Do you already have one and want to grow your success? This podcast aims to help any karate school owner learn tips and share success from stories from seasoned professionals. We cover every topic from preserving your art to student enrollment to financial success. Welcome to Karate School. Today's episode will talk about how to open your own karate school and the steps you'll need to take to do so. Let's get started. Okay, so today we're going to cover everything from licensing to taxes and look at conventional methods as well as my own personal story, including what went well and what I found difficult. So I guess 5 things that you'll need to cover in this one is funds, licensing, the location, your business model, and then marketing.
You want to fight?
So one thing we want to talk about is funds. So to open a karate school, you will need, well, in most cases, you'll need some funds to get started. Whether it's a very basic small operation or a commercial operation depends on how much money that you're going to put into it to get it started. If you're going to look for investors or business partners, you may be able to go a little bit bigger. You don't want to bottleneck yourself with having a dojo that's too small. You know, the smaller your dojo, the less comfortable it is for people to be in there. The less people who can be working out at the same time. And then now in today's age, social distancing is a concern for many as well. So if you're opening a commercial idea of a dojo, you want a big open space, but you're going to need the revenue to do so as well. I should note that all of this is not advice on steps for you to take, but it is, every story is going to be different. So I want to give you, thoughts and options that you can model your own karate school after, not basing it off of my personal story. But this is great information for anyone who's looking to start a karate school. Okay, so funds. I think typically you're going to need around $2,000 to $3,000 a month for just the rent for a medium-sized facility, and it could be upwards of 5 to 7 for something large. You don't want to get something too big if you don't have a group of karate students built up already. So I mean, your first year could be really rough if you try to aim too big. Maybe if you're just starting out, start small, work your way up in a couple years to medium and then to large, and just kind of set goals for yourself year by year. That'll also really help you with the mental aspect of feeling like you're generating success. Oh, guys, we packed out the dojo. We got to move to a bigger one, and everyone's happy about that. Remember when we first started back in that roll-up garage door studio? Now look at us, right? But it is also possible to start with little to no money. In my case, I was in college and I wanted to start my own dojo as a way to make some money on the side to pay for gas and food and housing expenses and stuff like that. So there's some non-conventional methods that you can take to become a karate teacher and open your own dojo, even if it's not in your own location. So I made some calls and emails around to different kinds of schools and private schools because my idea was I was going to teach karate in the school gym. I was able to convince a private school to let me teach a karate program during the school day and then offer after school karate as well at the gym at the school. So my first year was kind of a wild success. We had a lot of, free lessons that we started with. So I let a lot of the students come try it out to see if that's something they wanted to do. And after like a couple of months, it actually turned into a PE program for a lot of the kids that they were able to enroll in it. And I had 17 students for my karate program within my first year, which was great. So that's definitely one way you can do it. The licensing that you need for that, I was teaching in Florida, so I had to register with the Florida School Board and get fingerprinted, and um, I just ran it as an LLC. I don't think there's anything wrong with running it as a sole proprietorship. I would definitely suggest running it as an LLC or a corporation. That way, you're not personally liable for anything that happens. Um, in the event of financial distress down the road, you can just kind of close shop and move on. So I had a really good time with that, and then I did about 3 years teaching the after school program. Towards the end of my second year, I actually moved and opened a physical location in Orlando. It was actually in Castleberry, and it was really small. It was too small. So that's why I said the location matters. And I had a couple students I taught private lessons there just because it was too small to have like a real karate class. I think a handful of times I had 4 or 5 people in there and it was really cramped. And what happens, no one complains, but you kind of have to stand around while you work with somebody or while they're doing kata, um, because it's just too small of a space. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I took judo lessons at Sasaki Judo in Orlando when it was in a garage, like literally a roll-up door garage with no air conditioning and a fan, and there would be 20 people in this room, and we're all kind of like standing around the walls with our arms crossed, waiting our turn to spar. So there's nothing wrong with that business model as well. I just said there's a bottleneck, and what I mean by that is there's a limit to how many people that you can sign up, especially if there's high interest for what you're offering. You're not going to be able to, one, meet building code and have all those people in there, but two, you're going to have a wait list and people are kind of going to move on and find something else to do. So let's talk about licensing. Doing some research, if you go to find any information about starting a karate school, especially in Florida, you're going to get directed to the DBPR, which is the Department of Business and Professional Regulation. And they do have a section on here. I'm on the website now. It's myfloridalicense.com. It could be different in your state or your country. And they have one for boxing, kickboxing, and mixed martial arts. But that is for professionals, and unless you're going to be competing or have a student competing in paid fights, that's not for you. The only thing that you're going to need is you're going to need your EIN, you're going to need to set up your taxes, set up your sales tax profile so that you can pay your sales tax, and then set up your reselling license if you're going to be selling any merchandise, gis, gloves, pads, that kind of stuff. Because you do have to pay, as a business owner, you have to pay taxes on all of the things that you sell. I believe that your services may be exempt. It depends on your state again, and I would just look into that. I believe that professional services are exempt, but sales are not. So definitely study your taxes and make a solid business plan before you open your dojo. Location is extremely important. Again, in my case, I kind of opened one off the beaten path. It was very near a Target, which is a supermarket, um, almost within walking distance, but it was off of the main street, kind of hard to find, and the front of the building wasn't necessarily super appealing. I think that leads to a lot of people kind of being deterred from it. If you're going to open your own karate school in a physical location, it may be worth the extra money to have a convenient location that's easy for people to get to, and something that's welcoming, something that is easy for people to say, "Oh, there's the dojo. Can't wait to go in there today." So you got to remember that you're a human, I'm human, and when we go to buy something, typically something that catches our eye and it looks good is kind of appealing, and it kind of that's the first step to making that purchase. So your dojo needs to be somewhere that people can get to easily, and keep coming back to, and then how they feel when they enter your dojo is a big part of if they're gonna one sign up and two stay. So I want to talk business model. So there's nothing wrong with the business model of being a coach, doing private lessons, doing online lessons, or having a small dojo, or even doing what I did in my case, having an after school karate program that was kind of, we did a tournament team and everything else. Small plug for National Karate KOBUDO Federation. If you're looking to affiliate your dojo, head to nkkf.org, click on affiliate a dojo link, and you can get signed up with us to compete on our tournament team throughout the world and represent what we do. We also have great lessons and lesson plans, different kinds of content on our website. If you're looking to be a member on there, use the code when you go to sign up podcast to save 50% off of a membership. That will be like, I think, $4 or $5. Um, so back to the business, we're talking about business model, and I think that a karate school has a lot of potential to make a lot of money. Um, a lot of the karate schools focus heavily on after school karate being a moneymaker. So you got to think about, people paying their gym membership, right? Um, you probably want to be like right in the middle starting out. If you're limited on your space and you're highly sought after, then you can charge a little bit more. Um, so for instance, right now I own a swimming pool company, and we offer probably the highest quality service in town, but we have limited availability, so it's kind of like supply and demand. Whenever you have like a high demand for a product or a service and limited spaces, you're able to charge more for it because there is a market for people to do so. They're willing to pay more for the product because it's better, and you kind of separate the wheat from the chaff. So the same thing kind of goes with your karate school. You have the business model of, if I can get a lot of people at a good price, I'm going to be successful. But if you have a small cap on that, you're going to have to charge more in order to, make ends meet. So it really all depends on your personal situation, the funding that you can secure, and then what your return is going to be. Definitely always looking at, am I going to triple my money doing this? What is the time frame of when I'm actually going to break even? What is the time frame of when I'm actually going to profit? Because you don't want to get in the situation where you say, "Oh, I'm just going to look at the finances later." That's going to get you in a lot of trouble. And a lot of karate schools go out of business within the first year, and then a lot of them go out of business within the first 5 years. And if you're looking to open a karate school for more than just a hobby, we want to make sure that you're going to be successful and that you're going to thrive and you're going to be around for a really long time. And um, you're gonna do great things and teach a lot of people karate and make them happy, and kind of do everything that you set out to do in the first place. So when you are, putting everything together, definitely write it down. Don't keep it in your head. Write it on paper. Do the math. Make sure the numbers make sense. What is the rent for the building going to be? What is the yearly taxes going to be? What's the utilities going to be? How many students do I need to triple my money? And I always say triple your money instead of double your money, because you're really not accounting for little things like vehicle maintenance and commercial insurance and marketing. So one thing that people don't think about is commercial insurance. If you have a vehicle which you're going to be transporting students from school to your facility, you have to pay commercial insurance on that vehicle. Do you own the vehicles or are you going to lease them? So there's a lot of things like that. Most people use like a 15 passenger van because having a school bus would require a Class B commercial driver's license. So that's another part of your business model. Are you going to hire drivers? Are you going to be the driver? Um, I think that any great business is led by one person who then has a chain of command. So the sensei ideally shouldn't be the one driving the bus because then you're working instead of being able to delegate those. Um, so building those costs of the employees into your business model as well could enable you better success in the future. But again, it's going to come down to funding. Do you have the funds to hire a um, front desk person and a funds to hire an assistant and even a teacher? Does your business model rely heavily on you being there every single day, or does your business model enable you to have other instructors, other teachers um, at your command, being able to take care of the classes in exchange for payment? So you can train these um, instructors to teach your karate, to teach your martial art the way that you want it done, and you run operations. Because I mean, that's a full-time job. It's going to be really hard for you to get anything done. Who's answering the phones? Who's doing the emails? Who's doing the finances? These are things that a lot of people don't think about, and they get in the situation where they're out there teaching karate and nothing else gets done. So are you going to teach karate and then go home and work all night? So I think setting up a business model, especially if you're going to go commercial, where you have a front desk person who handles incoming calls, setting appointments, setting up the free lessons, doing text and email marketing blasts, doing the social media. That's a full-time job. You're gonna have to get somebody really good, train them to do that job, and then compensate them to stay. Um, Having your drivers. Are you going to do a part-time thing? Are you going to hire a company? Are you going to get somebody? Are you going to own the vehicles? Are you going to lease them? Are you going to pay a company who does transport to provide that service for you? That's an expense that a lot of people don't even consider. Or are you not even going to offer that service at all? Is it just dojo's open for workout? These are the classes, show up. So definitely weigh the risk and reward. I would look at vehicle expenses, gas expenses, commercial insurance expenses, and then the return from that, and then say, is it worth it for me to do this? Because if you're just looking at the number of what's going to come in and not looking at the number of what's going out, you're going to fail um, 9 times out of 10. Because, I mean, commercial insurance, just say it's 5 grand a month. Sorry, I think that's a year. Depends how many vans you have. Um, let's just say $1,000 a month, just to shoot a high number, right? And then gas another 300, 1,300 bucks a month, and then the vehicles. Let's say you have three of them, and each one of them is 500 bucks. So now you're looking at $2,800. Let's just round up um, for oil changes and stuff like that. $3,000 a month coming out just for transportation. How many students do you need to triple that to make it worth your while, right? So $9,000 coming in every single month on your after school program. And a lot of people charge the monthly. So let's just say you charge $100 a month. You would need 90 students after school. That doesn't fit in three vans. Three vans can fit 14 in each one. So, um, that's 42, right? That's bad math. I don't know. Um, you'd have to charge double. You have to charge 200 bucks a month just to cover your cost, right? Um, so it's possible, right? We want to make 9 grand. Um, so 200 bucks a month sounds doable. right? At 42 students. So that's not quite tripled, but it's easier math. So you could charge 200 bucks a month for your after school program and get that covered. That's fine. So these things are possible to do, and then you have your nighttime students. You're charging the same 100 bucks, and you could charge that 200 as well if you have people that are willing to pay it. It just seems a little pricey, but you're in control. You're the business owner, so you get to see what your competitors are charging as well in your area. Karate is typically not real expensive because most people go with the business model of a lot of people at a affordable price. That's kind of the typical karate business model. And never undercut your competitors. This is just my personal opinion because that's a race to the bottom. You see somebody who charges 99 bucks a month and you come in and charge 75, and now the next person's going to come into town and they're going to charge 60 bucks, and then next thing you know everyone's charging $25 and giving it away for free. um, so I definitely think look at the market that you're in now. Some markets may be better than others. That some people might be charging $300 a month, and there's only two karate schools, and they don't want to do Goju-Ryu, they want to do Shorin-Ryu. So um, know your value, set your business model, set your rates, and then marketing. Creating a lead generation strategy where you have interested people who want to do it come try out the class, see if they want to do it, right? They either sign up or they don't. If they don't sign up, have a way to send them deals and coupons when they do a rise. You know, they're interested. What's stopping them from coming in and signing up? Was it just the pricing, right? Well, March Madness, we have a coupon, send an email blast, make sure you get all their information. 20% off your first year, right? And now that $100 a month is only 80 bucks a month, or that $200 a month is only 160 a month, and it makes it more affordable, and they get that value, and they can do the thing that they wanted to do, and they're happy, and you have enrollment, and that's great. I would also set an incremental increase to adjust for inflation, 5% every 2 years, something like that, just because you can't get stuck into the mindset of, the money today is worth the same as it was yesterday. The prices of everything is going up. So I would look at marketing, use all your targeted marketing, like, start a Google My Business. That's super important. Get on every single app. Get on Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor, Yelp. I wouldn't spend a ton of money on lead generation sites. I wouldn't spend a ton of money on physical marketing. I would definitely get out and do some events, do farmers markets and um, different kinds of demonstrations where you can hand out flyers to people that are interested. Um, Go to Comic Cons and people that are interested in martial arts there and hand out, physical marketing to them. Have lead generation sheets where they can sign up. I've done before the lead boxes where you can say, hey, enter to win a free month of karate. And you have like a slip and they fill it out and they put it in the boxes. And you go around with your little box to, health food places, um, different kinds of businesses that in the area that you're going to open your karate school that you think is a good fit. And people can fill out those forms to enter to win. And then if they win, great, they get a free month. And then they might sign up for the year. And if they didn't win, call them, hey, you didn't win, but I do have a 20% off for you if you did want to start, so you don't have to pay that full amount for your first year, 20% off. Or you could say, hey, I do have a program where you get a free uniform and free pads when you sign up for your first year and you're on the direct deposit. Billing and that kind of stuff is also really important. You have to figure out how you're going to bill people. Are they going to pay by check? Chasing people down for their money is never great. If you can have an automated system that they sign up for to where it just automatically comes out, it's going to save you a lot of stress. So don't try to do everything yourself when you're opening karate school. That's kind of dooming yourself for failure. I would try to make sure that um, everything has its own place and that you're able to delegate some of the, automate and delegate. So automate some of your processes like the emails and texts, and then delegate some of the other tasks like driving the van, picking up the students, or, having teachers that can teach some of the classes as well. I think one of the best business models that I've personally seen is a boxing gym where you have a schedule with 4 different instructors, and they're teaching the same martial art, but they're teaching like a different class. Like, hey, Monday at 6:30, I got David teaching this high intensity um, training, kumite workout. So like, oh, Monday night I'm gonna go in there and get my butt whooped. It's gonna be exhausting. Whereas like Tuesday night is traditional Okinawan weapons. Oh, that's cool. I can't wait for Tuesdays. I love Tuesdays. I want to go in there and learn some weapons. Wednesday night is sword practice. Wow, dude, that's awesome. We're doing sword. It's kind of different themes. So you kind of reach out to all these different people, and then you have a teacher who is interested in doing that, and people have something to look forward to, and there's a rotation there. And then you, as the karate school owner, kind of oversee and manage that, right? You're the captain, and you're driving the ship. So you have to be able to put these things together, organize events, you know, solve issues, and grow your business. Are you going to open multiple locations? Is that your business model to where you're going to do a bunch of different dojos all over town and in different cities, or are you just going to build your one big dojo, focus on the thing that you're going to focus on? Is your business model geared towards kids having fun and, just a place for them to learn respect and discipline and martial arts, self-defense, and kind of have fun, or is it more of a strict um, and stringent preservation of the art that you're studying, and everything is focused on doing things a very traditional way? Do you do tournaments? Do you not do tournaments? Are you competition focused? Competition is great for building success in kids and adults as well. And I think tournaments are fantastic. If you would like to be part of our organization, National Karate Kobudo Federation, we do WKF, NKF, USA, AAU, WSKF. You're welcome to join. We have plenty of resources. If you have any questions about opening a karate school at all, feel free to send me an email at honbu@nkkf.org. That's HONBU at nkkf.org. And we'll answer your questions. I might even be answering some on the next episode. So feel free to send in your questions. Check out our website again. Like I said, if you want to get some material for your classes coming up, feel free to utilize them. We're on all the social media sites as well. It was great having you today, and I'm looking forward to sharing even more great information with you on the next episode. Until next time, this has been Karate School, your host, Colton. Os. Parting note, don't be scared to fail. It's okay to fail as long as you learn. So you can start a school, fail, close it down, go do it again. Don't let fear stop you from going for your dream.